Today, we are taking a really tactile journey right into the heart of grassroots activism in India. We are going to mold our understanding piece by piece of what it actually takes to run a truly impactful on-the-ground operation. We are talking about the incredible work of the Selfless SEWA NGO. These guys are literally redefining what it means to give back rain or shine. Welcome to the new episode of Beyond the Cause with ZenDonor. So if you wondered how real lasting changes is shaped in modern communities, well, you are in exactly the right place. To really grasp what this organization is all about, we have got to understand their namesake first. The word Seva. It comes from the ancient Sanskrit root sev, which means to serve. It's this profoundly cultural and spiritual concept across Indian religions. Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, you name it. It's essentially the absolute purest form of altruism. We are talking selfless services performed without an exception of personal reward, merit, or a gain. Think of it like this. Individual hands coming together, selflessly molding and shaping a better, stronger community. It's really not about what you get back, right? It's 100% about what you give. And that ancient philosophy, that was the exact spark for a very modern movement. Back in January 2024, founders Utkarsh Bhati and Siti Sontalia decided to turn this ancient concept into reality by starting this Selfless SEWA NGO. You see, Utkarsh had spent years volunteering for other groups, and he realized he wanted to build something where the core focus was permanent, with unshakable impact. Their guiding belief is super simple. Serving others is not just a duty, it's a way of life. They didn't kick off things. They started with a basic Instagram page and just this profound, deep desire to serve from the heart. But, taking that pure spirit of service into their real world, that meant they immediately hit a massive hurdle: public perception. Let's be totally honest here. There's a lot of skepticism out there. People often just assume NGOs are those corporate machines built for tax evasion, or maybe they just show up for a quick photo op and then completely vanish. Selfless Seva reality couldn't be farther from that. They are radically transparent, entirely youth-led, and this is the big one. They operate on a strict, permanent, weekly commitment. They are definitely not there for a quick selfie. They are there to really embed themselves into the foundation of the community. Now, to make that kind of permanent commitment a reality, you need an absolute army of dedicated people. And in just 1 year, Selfless SEWA has mobilized a staggering force of 320 active volunteers. And get this, primary demographic driving this entire massive operation, it's young adults, age of 17 to 22. And 90% of them are young women. These dedicated young people are managing some seriously complex logistics across multiple cities. We are talking Delhi, Gurugram, Chandigarh, Dehradun, and Sirsa. It's just wild. So you are probably wondering, what exactly are these 320 young volunteers doing every single week? Well, they have structured their service into some really focused core projects. Project Suction, where they teach literally 700 to 800 kids every single weekend, building their futures brick by brick. Then there is Project Chikitsa, which focused on healthcare and menstrual hygiene. They distributed over 1,000 sanitary pad packets every month, often teaming up with groups like Pinkish Foundation. And they also run Ahar for food security, Saundarya for the environment, Jeev Kalyan for animal welfare, and Project Muskurahat, which is dedicated purely to just spreading joy and compassion in their neighborhoods. But here's the thing, they don't just randomly show up somewhere. Their process for adapting a new slum is incredibly rigorous. First off, they absolutely will not start working in an area unless they have 25 to 30 dedicated volunteers logged in for that specific spot. Second, they run a deep demographic survey. Who lives there? What do they do? What do they actually need? And third, they make a permanent commitment. They know perfectly well that residents are just exhausted by people who show up, teach for 2 days, and then ghost them. Selfless SEWA promises that They will be there every single week until the community simply doesn't need an NGO's help anymore. Now, looking at these initiatives, I really want you to ask yourself, what do you think is actually the hardest part of running a grassroots NGO in India? Is it getting the funding? Is it the grueling physical labor? Well, the reality of grassroots work is gritty, it's unpredictable, and it is constantly challenging. It completely shatters this myth. The charity work is just showing up and cheerfully hanging things out. What's really interesting about the day-to-day operations is the contrast between expectations and reality. The expected plan is usually super simple, right? You arrive at the slum and everyone is just eagerly waiting for you. But the ground reality, it is different. Sometimes the volunteers show up all ready to reach, and the kids just aren't there. They literally have to go house to house to gather them up or to take the communication side of things. The founder mentions they get around 50 text messages in a single day asking for money, and they have to constantly sift through scams just to find the authentic people who genuinely needs help. It's a highly dynamic, constantly shifting puzzle where almost nothing goes exactly to plan. So to combat all this unpredictability and to build unwavering trust, they put a strict rain or shine policy into this place. Whether it's pouring rain or there's a massive storm, the weekly drives are never cancelled. No excuses. The volunteers know they just have to figure it out. Find a shed, grab an umbrella, or do whatever it takes. Picture these volunteers just holding their ground in a total downpour. Because by showing up when it's the hardest, they prove to the community that they aren't just hair weather friends. They are the permanent pillar of support. And that hardcore reliability, it extends right into the administrative side too. They proudly hold an 80G tax exemption certification and are officially registered with the Niti Aayog via the NGO Darpan. Now, those are strict Indian government regulatory and tax bodies. This completely shatters another massive myth. The idea that NGOs just operate in the shadow with zero oversight. Selfless SEWA runs things with corporate level strictness when it comes to money. They buy a 100 rupee box of pencils. They have the receipts, the documentations, the entire paper trail ready for government review. No cutting corners. That intense level of documentations really fuels their radical transparency. Utkarsh, the founder, actually sums this up perfectly. If a donor is feeling really skeptical, his response is just so refreshing. He basically says, hey, we don't want your money. If you want to donate 5,000 rupees for rehydration salts, go buy them yourself and come hand them out with us. They aren't protective of the funds at all. They are fiercely protective of the final outcome. They literally invite the public to step out from the behind their screens and see the impact with their own two eyes. So the crucial point here is the massive difference between passive sympathy and active seva. Look, it's really easy to just scroll through social media, see a community struggling, feel kind of bad for a second, and then keep scrolling. Whether it's showing up in person to become a sevak yourself or making a targeted, transparent donation that directly funds a kid's education or a woman's healthcare. Active seva is all about tangible physical change on the ground. And if you do decide to step up and volunteer, do not expect it to be some casual weekend hobby. Actually, they don't even use the word volunteer. You become a sevak. You have to formally apply. You join a specific core department like operations, HR or PR, and you're held to really strict standards. You have got to complete a strict minimum of 6 on-field drives within a 3-month period. You are attending meetings, hitting deadlines, the whole 9 yards. It's framed not just as some chore, but as this empowering, rigorous privilege to drive actual changes. But let me tell you, the reward for all that rigor is profound. Take a listen to this testimonial from Sevak named Harshit Ahuja. He points out how stepping into this role provides this deep sense of purpose and belonging. And that's a beautiful secret of true Seva. While you're out there molding a better community for other people, the act of service is actually molding and transforming you from the inside out. It's totally a two-way street of healing and growth. Now you might be sitting there and thinking, I have the time to do 6 tribes and I definitely don't have a lot of money to give. give. The founders explicitly address this. They stress that even a 5 rupee donation makes a difference when it combines with thousands of others. You can donate directly through their website at selflessSEWA NGO.com. And if you can't even swing 5 rupees, just taking a second to share one of their social media reels or leaving an encouraging comment creates a massive ripple effect. It boosts their visibility, validates all their hard work, and might just help them reach someone who can fund their next drive. I want to quickly take a minute to talk about something that makes helping even easier. We have built a platform that can be a helping hand for NGOs. ZenDonor. Empower your NGO with ZenDonor, the streamlined, secure platform for global fundraising. Connect with donors worldwide and elevate your impact. We are offering 1 year of free access to a limited number of organizations. Click the link right in the bio. At the end of the day, change doesn't come from big speeches. It comes from showing up. Selfless Seva shows up every week. Will you? Check out the link in the description to volunteer or donate. Let's choose service above self.